I'm really bad at it.
Oh, it's the interview time. Oh, we get to interview.
Oh, we get to do an interview. And speaking of, last segment was Paladins. We're gonna be talking to a gentleman a little bit in the know there.
Yes.
Actually, pretty excited to talk to this guy. As you know, you work at Mixer. I work at Mixer.
I think so.
We've had a lot of Paladins coverage, kind of focused on that over the last week and weekend on the Xbox dashboard. And so I'm really excited to talk to this gentleman.
Yes. So every week on the show, we try to feature a different personality in the space. And today, because of all the Paladin stuff going on, like MK just said, and we recently announced that Mixer would be the exclusive home to the league, the console league. Let's put our hands together for Evan Raynr.
And let's talk about Paladins and the debut of the league.
Evan, what's up, man?
Hello.
Doing all right.
Oh, you're a little quiet.
Yeah, we can't hear him
Can we
very
get
well.
him boosted a little bit,
Evan?
please?
Ooh.
All right, so Evan, tell the people who
I got a loud voice,
you.
so if I'm quiet, something's got to work out here.
There you are.
That's
Loud
better.
and clear. Okay, so for people who don't know you and your role at Hi-Rez, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. Before I got to Hi-Rez, I was actually an athlete. I was at UCLA. I was a draftee to the MLS. I got drafted by DC United. I got into video games through creating a YouTube channel called Raynr Gaming, which I now have. We've got 150,000 subscribers on there and a Twitch presence. And I found myself loving Hi-Rez games and got in contact with them and actually started casting Paladins at its inception about a year ago in May. We didn't have any official tournaments. We did our first big thing in Sweden. We did a Founders Tournament for $50,000. And at that point in time, we all knew this was for real. So we knew we had a great game. It's gone through a ton of iterative changes. I joined Hi-Rez probably about a month or two later, officially in August. And been with them ever since as an esports caster, esports specialist, doing everything from admin to game balance design to obviously casting and hosting at our big events like January and Hi-Rez Expo and other stuff like that. So it's been a wild ride for sure. I didn't think I'd be doing this, but esports is brand new and a lot of new faces are getting mixed in here.
That's awesome. Congrats on all your success, first of all. And second, might I say that your suit game is on point, man. Unbelievable.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, we're a little disappointed you're not in a suit today, so we figured we'd rib you a little bit about it.
I couldn't dress it up all the time. Sometimes I have to go the casual approach. It's my day off from the office. We work on weekends, so I take my Mondays and Thursdays off. So I decided to keep it a little casual.
I get it, man. Today I'm actually wearing a reverse sensor bar, so I can totally relate. But we've recently announced. Thank you. See, someone appreciates it. Shouting out my wife. We recently announced the Paladins Console League, which allowed players on the Xbox One and PS4 to compete in weekly Paladins matches. Can you fill us in on what Paladins is for those who haven't played it yet and kind of what the league's about?
Yeah, absolutely. So Paladins it's a hero shooter, right? It's a first-person hero shooter that's based in a fantasy realm. And one of the interesting differences about Paladins, you can go into it from other hero shooters, is our game is highly iterative and very variable. It's a kind of a good alliteration there to describe how you can play. You can choose anything you want. There are 3 different legendary cards that define your champion's play style. There's a whole loadout that you make before you even go into the game that can change anything from movement speed to how much damage you take after an ability, or how many extra seconds you get off a cooldown of a certain skill you prioritize. And that translates to a really exciting esports scene that we've brought to the PC for the first year, and then now really wanted to bring to the console, because we just feel that hero shooters, such a big audience, don't have too much representation at this point on the console, and that's what the console series is all about. You guys mentioned the numbers before, but I think it's somewhere of like $19,000 every month, 84,000 crystals, over 250 grand over the course of a year. But I think the biggest thing for me is just exposure. These guys get to play every week essentially, and new names can come up through the scene. New games can come up into esports, and I think that's just a great opportunity as this industry keeps growing.
So that's actually a great segue. The first week of the open bracket just went down last weekend. So are there any storylines, any cool personalities that we should know about, maybe starting to surface just in this first week of play, or anything in particular we should look forward to in the second week of matches?
Next week is going to be interesting. We've done this kind of format for a while, where we have these weeks where the first 2, the best teams kind of qualify, and then they wait in week 4 for the next second week's qualifiers and the third week's qualifiers to play this ultimate final kind of grand royale to see who ultimately gets first place in that region. But Xbox has been looking extremely strong. I got to say, PS4, I love you. I grew up on PS4, but Xbox is holding it down right now. And especially in Europe, the Gangstars absolutely sweeping their competition. Guys like Welshmania, Trank, World Edit, absolutely having monster games. Overall, in North America and on PS4 in general, the kind of interesting part about that is it's so much closer. I don't know why. Maybe it's because Xbox is really more of a shooter console, and maybe there are a lot more experienced shooter players transitioning to Paladins. It's a really interesting phenomenon, but we find that PS4 sometimes just can't set themselves apart from each other. It's just tight games. It makes it very exciting. I think it was a best of 4 and then a best of 5 for our PS4 games in North America. So just a lot of great action heading into week 2. I expect the same.
It's actually super interesting. And frankly, man, your passion shows for this game, which is really cool, I got to say. Do you have like a favorite character, just out of curiosity? Like for a beginner,
Man,
for someone that's going to get into it. Because I'm interested, and I actually haven't played it yet, but everyone's talking about it. And obviously,
really?
Yeah, now it's here. So who do I play as?
Man, are you kind of a projectile guy, or do you like your hit scans? Do you like you're running around running gun,
scan.
or do you like
hit scan, baby?
Okay, all right. I mean, Victor's great. I think Victor's very standard. He's a standard guy. You come in, you shoot things, you do a lot of damage. I like Tyra though, because she brings a little bit of that female power into the game. She's got this really boss attitude, and honestly, she's got a lot of different abilities. So it's the shooter mechanic, but also more of an ability-based shooter, which I find is a great variance from your traditional kind of run and gun Call of Duty style, so to speak, that Victor would probably represent for a lot of audiences. So I'd definitely give that a try. The other one though, I'd say if you like hit scan and you like moving around, it's a little bit more mobile, but Androxus is the way to go. He's been a fan favorite forever, and getting up into the skies, ulting people down with these incredible, I think, demonic rockets, whatever he does in his ult, it's the way to go. It's the top play for sure.
So our favorite question on the show, if you could tell a skeptical person like one thing to know about esports and why they should pay attention or get into it, what would you say?
I'd say that why are you a skeptic? I mean, at this point, we saw League of Legends get 14.7 million concurrent viewers for their world championship, and Game of Thrones got 16.1. I mean, we're only 2 million off at this point.
All right. That is the best answer I've ever heard. I'm like, yes. Numbers. Show me the money.
It's clearly an audience available for this. And I think what's cool is that there's not really a bunch of fans that need converting for esports to be viable. I think there will be. I think traditional sports fans will find a love in the competition that's exposed and the storylines, which is why we love basketball or football or soccer. We love the players and what they're doing and how they're improving and the drama. And I think esports brings that. But what esports does that's different from that is not everyone is born 6 feet tall. Not everyone can sprint a 4.3 40-yard dash. We can all have usually a mouse and a keyboard and play some of these games that we're seeing people make hundreds to millions of dollars. And I think the relatable aspect and attached to the story and attached to the competition puts esports in a position to do something that normal sports actually haven't done, I think, for a mass market audience. So, ultimately, I would say, again, if you're a skeptic, why? But even if you are a skeptic, the more that this gains more production, more support, I think this is going to win everybody over. Esports is definitely the industry to be in right now.
Oh, it's fantastic, man. Thank you.
Well, thanks so much, Evan. Lastly, where can people find you and your work and your Twitter handle?
Absolutely. You can follow me at Raynr Gaming. Most of my stuff is Raynr or Raynr Gaming there. On my YouTube, that's where I'm basically most active. I have a YouTube channel. That's how I was known. So at Raynr Gaming there, at Twitter, at Raynr Gaming, and twitch.tv/Raynr, which is one of the places I stream in. I got to make my Mixer account now so I can start streaming there.
Get on it.
You guys are blowing. A 4-person custom stream. I mean, I'm like, I got to get some buddies around and play some games. So I don't have that made up yet, but you can find me there very soon as well. And
no worries, man.
Every Saturday and Sunday, casting the console series.
All right. Well, thank you so much,
Good
Evan.
times.
That was awesome. Thank you. Oh, it was a genuine pleasure.
Oh, what a dude. That's awesome. It's been a little while since I played Paladins, but I first came across it at a convention about 2 years ago, and so I started playing when it was in beta.
Okay.
So it's been a while. I'm rusty, but I remember having a ton of fun. I'm ready to get back into it. I'm ready to stream it.
I'm ready to give it a shot. Ooh, you should do that.
Stream it or it didn't happen.